the world, the light of consciousness that emanates from the transcendent source of all life. So to me, God is the transcendent source of all lives. God does not have a location in space or time. God transcends space and time. But God, it's a bit like the sun in the sense-perceived world. The sun emanates life. It emanates light, which is life, continuously. It emanates. Now, let's imagine that you are a ray of sunlight, and suddenly you realize that who or what you are emanates from the sun. Before you didn't know it because you thought you were a disconnected ray, just a little spark disconnected. And then you become still for a moment and you sense the connectedness to something much deeper than the person. So you just a moment of stillness. In one of the Psalms in the Old Testament, it says, "Be still and know that I am God." You can only know God in the stillness. When you become still, then suddenly, to go back to the analogy, the ray of sunlight realizes its connectedness and oneness with the sun. And some of the mystics who discovered that in themselves suddenly said, "I am God." That's not advisable to do, and then usually people didn't like that. So, because the ray of sunlight, yes, it's eternally connected, it's an emanation of the sun, but it's not the sun. You are an emanation, or your consciousness is an emanation of the Godhead or God, but you are not God, but you are connected, you are one with God, and you're not seemingly paradoxical or contradictory statements. So the belief is good, and then the belief can lead to something a little deeper than just the belief. And then you can rest in that sense of connectedness to something that transcends the personality. You rest in that, and that is what is called, to me, that is the true meaning of faith. Faith to me is not just an ideological belief that this is the case, or the belief that a certain story from the past actually happened. Faith is trust. And the trust comes with the realization that there's more to you than just the personality, the person. And to be rooted in this trust is inner peace. And then you can breathe more clearly. There are people who are extremely knowledgeable about spirituality and everything else, but they have never gone that little step further from recognizing the truth on an intellectual level, which is good, to going a little bit further and realize the truth experientially in their own lives. And that frees them from fear and anxiety. It's a wonderful liberation to realize that. Maybe not continuously, but more and more, you realize there is more to you than meets the eye, so to speak. That you are not the physical body, you're not your mind even. There's an invisible presence that is the essence of who you are.